Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome to Tree of Savior Beginner Tips. The first tip I have for anyone that's just started in the game: sometimes when you're really low level, mobs will be a challenge like bosses, but that shouldn't be. Tree of Savior is not designed for you to have a hard time killing low level mobs. What you have to do to avoid this being a challenge is to gather around 2 or 3,000 silver right in the beginning of the game. As you log in the game from level 1, start killing everything in your path and doing the initial quests, and try to gather around 2000 silver. After you get that money, you go to the main city, Orsha or Klaipeda, and you look for a pardoner shop. The pardoners are players that have leveled a character in a class that can sell buffs to other players. And those buffs are really powerful. Those buffs can add up to 5000 damage per hit. In the beginning, you won't be able to buy those buffs, those really strong ones, because they'll be more expensive. But you will be able to buy buffs strong enough so that you will one-hit all mobs in the beginning of the game, and that's what you want. You only want to be strong enough to be able to one-hit mobs that you face. So, go in any main city and search near the main goddess statue of that city. You will always find many players selling pardoner buffs, weapon buffs, armor buffs, and armor repair next to the goddess statues. For now, all you have to know is the pardoner shops. They are recognizable for a purple banner on top of a player. You will see a purple banner with something written on it that the player wrote. Something like, "Buy buffs here, my buff shop, best buffs in Klaipeda." Clicking on the banner will open the shop. You'll be able to browse and purchase the buffs from the player. You can see the player's skill level and the amount of buffs that player has available to sell at the moment. Just buy a couple buffs if they are in the range of 800-900 silver and run to your leveling place, to the maps where you want to kill mobs and do quests. Sometimes with this buff you won't even need to do quests because you kill things so fast that you advance in levels, especially in the early levels, where it goes by really fast, and your real goal in the beginning is to reach level 50 to be able to go into the level 50 dungeon. So the tip number 1 is go for pardoner buffs as soon as possible. My second tip for beginners is exploration. Tree of Savior has a mechanic where you will get cards that give experience when you explore a map 100%. So if you reveal all the hidden parts of a map, you can check this by clicking them and looking at the percentage of exploration on top of the map. After you reach 100% in a map, you can go to Wings of Vivora NPC in the cities of Klaipeda or Orsha and deliver the exploration to the NPC, and the NPC will give you XP cards according to the level of the map you have explored. This is a very fast and consistent way of getting XP cards, and one of the best things about this is that the exploration is shared amongst all your characters. So if you create a new character, you'll be able to get XP cards from maps you explored in your previous characters. This is very strong. I believe you can understand how strong this is. So the tip number 2 is explore all maps 100% if you can. To be able to explore this map 100%, I'll give you tip number 3. Which is download the Tree of Savior Add-on Manager. You can either Google for Tree of Savior Add-on Manager, or you can go to the link in the description and I'll lead you to the GitHub page of the Add-on Manager. And this is a great little application that allows you to check add-ons that people have developed for the game and keep them updated. I'll have to warn you though that many applications, many add-ons for the game have not been updated very often, so you have to check. If you want to download an add-on, I advise you to download one, open the game, check if it works properly. If it doesn't work, uninstall it before trying to install another add-on. But the add-on manager is extremely useful and will allow you to get stuff like a map exploration helper. Search for an add-on that will allow you to get a better understanding of what parts of a map are still unexplored, like this one. This add-on will replace on the minimap the parts of the map that were not explored by a red square. So it's much easier to look at a map and understand that you have to go to that part of the map to get the full exploration. Another little tip that is kind of related to map exploration is the movement. When you start in Tree of Savior, you will notice that quests have a mechanic where after you finish a quest, it will usually allow you to press backspace or select on the controller to go back to the NPC that gave you the quest. This is very helpful because moving through maps in Tree of Savior is a little complicated. There are certain maps that you can teleport to because they have a goddess statue, but if the map does not have a goddess statue, going back to that map is a little complicated. But we can use the quest delivery system to allow us to have a permanent teleport back to a map. What you have to do is get a quest in a map that you want to go to really often, like the map of Orsha. Orsha is a city that has a goddess statue, but you have to pay to travel to a goddess statue. You can take a quest that is delivered to an NPC in Orsha, and when you have the availability to return it to the NPC to deliver the quest, you don't deliver the quest. And every time you want to go back to Orsha, you just press select or backspace and you go back to that NPC. This is for sure one of my favorite little things about Tree of Savior. The fact that you can kind of cheat the system to be able to go back to a place often and for no price. Equipment. It's important to avoid falling in the trap of trying to buy strong equipment every time equipment is available, because you will most likely overlevel the equipment you get, especially if you try to buy things from NPCs. That's definitely a no-no. If you actually want to buy equipment, you should buy from the market. But in the low levels, there's only one set you should be thinking about, which is the Caffrey set. The Caffrey set is a level 15 set that's dropped by a mini boss in the Strautas Gorge map near Klaipeda. This boss spawns every 30 minutes, I guess, and every time you kill it, you get one piece of the set. It's a 4-piece set that's very strong because it adds another attack to your attacks. It's kinda a little more complicated than that, but let's leave it at that. Combined with the buffs you can get from partner shops, this will make your character really strong with very few items. So you want to focus on getting a Caffrey set soon and using it for a long time, maybe up to level 170 or something like that. Since we're talking about equipment, another important thing is thinking about the gems. Gems can be placed in sockets, in weapons and equipment, but you shouldn't go around placing gems in equipment without thinking about it. Before you place a gem in an equipment, you should be sure that you're gonna use that equipment for a long time. And also, the gem should be leveled before you place it in an equipment. Gems can be leveled by feeding items to the gem, either equipment, materials, or other gems. As a gem levels, it will get more stats and also more negative stats. To avoid that, you can use a process named roasting. You'll find little stores just like the partner buff shop from players that can roast gems, which means you pay a price and the player will remove the negative stats from the gem. Once you get a gem to 5, 6, 7 or more stars and you remove the negative stats from the gem, that's the best time to place the gem in an equipment. But be careful, once you place a gem in an equipment, if you remove it, the gem will lose 1 star. Think carefully before placing gems into sockets. Since we're talking about being careful about wasting money, one of the most useful and important things you should spend your money on is on a token. A token will give you many extra things in the game for 30 days, like 30% extra experience from monsters, a little faster movement speed, better prices in the market, and a token is very cheap. Real money or in-game money, it's dead cheap, especially with in-game money. I think one of the best investments you can make in your first character is getting a Caffrey set and then saving money for a token. Once you get your first token, you're gonna level fast, be able to make a lot of money, and buy your next tokens only with silver. You'll never have to think about wasting real life money in the game again. You can buy a token from the market from other players, or you can buy a token with TP and real life money, but I don't think that's really worth it. You also get, every 24 hours, you get 5 free TP. I believe the best use of those TP is to buy 1 megaphone so you can shout, and 1 soul crystal. The soul crystal will allow you to resurrect once you've died in battle. You can click on resurrect with soul crystal and you come back with full health and mana at the same place. It's really useful, so be sure to buy 1 megaphone and 1 soul crystal every day. It stacks up, trust me. In the subject of saving money, you should never buy potions from NPCs. Buy potions from the market from other players. Level 15 health and SP pots are pretty cheap and are way better and more useful than NPC pots. When you're leveling your character, you'll notice that there are XP curve resets at some levels. What does this mean? Well, the XP you need to get from level 45 to 46 is way bigger than the XP you need from level 46 to 47. This may sound weird, but that's how Tree of Savior works. The XP needed for a new level will increase until a certain point, and then it will decrease and start going up again slowly. This happens at levels 46, 86, 136, 186, 246, and 281. So remember that, and when you're leveling, you can use your XP cards near those level resets to achieve the next dungeon level easier. One last thing I'd like to tell you is, when you're planning your build, look at the final ranks of characters, like look at rank 8, rank 7, even rank 9, once that's released, and think about what class you want to get in the latest ranks. From then, try to think about the lower ranks classes that will complete your character and make it more useful in synergy with the later level ranks. This way, you'll never be caught surprised when you get one level rank 5, rank 6, and then you suddenly realize that it's incompatible with a rank 8 or rank 7 class that you may want. So in Tree of Savior, I think it's good to think about classes from the last rank to the first and build down what your build is going to be. That's going to be all for now. If you have questions, suggestions, or criticism, please leave it in the comments. I love to read that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, have fun and see ya!